Welcome to Evolution. My name is Brandon Fogel. Today we're going to get into some streamers went down to Miami this past weekend, and you would think it would just be a nice quiet night on the town, and nothing could go wrong. Sneako, Andrew Tate, Clavicular, Nick Fuentes, these guys, they don't get into trouble. I never see these guys getting into trouble, so nothing could possibly go wrong. And actually, the night was going pretty smooth. They wanted to get Nick to a club because it got brought to their attention that he'd never been to a club before. And they got to get him out of there and just ease him into it. And you could see that everything was going smooth, but then someone decided to play a Kanye West song that shall not be named. You can't bring it up because it's very, very provocative, and you'll get shut down for even talking about it sometimes. But they played it, and it did not go as smooth as you'd like. All right, so this is where Andrew Tate becomes aware that Nick's never been to a club.
It's your first time at a club. All right, maybe we have to go. Nick's first club night. Go fucking run it.
Nick, now you gotta go. Let's
practice. Practice your gun fingers. You're gonna need them. You're gonna need them.
Yeah.
Are we going to the club?
Yeah, they're just sitting around at a mansion. These guys can just throw a mansion together and just find themselves there.
Are we going?
All right, let's go.
We might.
The whole thing was pretty cool, and you could see that when Nick got to the club, you could say it's awkward when he's there, but really, it's not awkward at all. It's actually what every normal person feels like, and probably what a lot of these guys, if they weren't just entrenched in it every night, that if they just sat back, relaxed, and were who they were at their heart, at their core, and weren't just putting on a front, they would be like this too, because they would just let's just chill, let's relax. It's what and every guy and every person can relate to. So when you're seeing Nick at the club and he's just kind of awkward, he seems awkward, but he's not. He's not awkward. He's the actually legit one in the room. But that's not to say that everything he says is peaches and cream and it's fluff. It's easy to digest. It's not. He's very provocative, and I understand that. But him at a club, that is extremely relatable, because they say, "Do you want to bring up some girls?" He doesn't want to mess with girls at this time. Who wants to meet a girl at a club? Let's be honest. Who wants? Unless you're looking for a one-night stand, and that's not really the best thing for you. It's not going to turn out well if that's your life goal, to go and just mess around with a lot of girls for no reason, and that's a notch in your belt. That's all you want. Nick is the guy. There's a lot of complexity with him and women, and everybody keeps bringing that up. I've been out of the game for a long time. I've been married for a long time. So that's the lifestyle I know. So I can relate. But I was never really a club guy. And I don't know if you are, if you're a person that, I don't even honestly know if you could say that I've went to a club before. I've went to places where people dance and stuff, but I wouldn't own being a guy like that. And I don't care. I don't really honestly care. I'm not going to try to be like, I'm cool, whatever. If you're good at that, then you're good at that. If that's your thing. If you can go down and, do a little hoe down, that's great. I'm good for you. Good for you. I'm happy for you. But with Nick, I feel a connection with him there. When he goes off and rails against the Jews, and he's very precise in the what he describes, when he talks about them, and disagreements that he has with Israel. So I appreciate him bringing those things to light. But people that are of pro-Israel, pro-Jewish, which is weird to say, because I am extremely that. I love Jewish people. I am very pro-Jewish. Pro-Israel, the biblical Israel, whether you want to say that's today's Israel or not, I would kind of think it is. It wouldn't make sense to say it's not. Really, it would not make sense to say it's not. People like to say, oh, it's just this new fake government that's put there. They're practicing that religion, they're practicing that, I'm saying, I believe in that Jesus is the Messiah. He's come, and they're like, there's something there. They're not seeing who he is. They're not, so they're kind of short on that. They're kind of missing the wave on that. But it's not to say that they're eventually going to come to that. But what turned everything around this weekend and what lit the whole international outlook is that they played, and it came to light, Sneako played the Heil Hitler song. They played it in the car, and you could see the Tate brothers. They're very uncomfortable because they have a lot more to lose at this point. In their specific circumstance, they have a lot more to lose. They have people, the Jewish people they work with, and it looks really bad for them. Sneako and Nick Fuentes, they're young. They just want to get highlights. They want to get eyes. That's all they care about. That's what they. And really, it was Sneako. It was Sneako. I don't think Nick would have just played that song. He probably, to be honest, he probably felt uncomfortable when Sneako was playing that song. It sounded like he was like, yeah. Like, but he says it's a badass song, but I mean, it's really just shock value. That's all it is at this point. Even Kanye, he was not happy about them playing this because it was his song. It is his song. But he's kind of backtracking on a lot of things, trying to getting things in order. It's just different ways of life. Tate, where he's at in his personal life right now, he's facing the government. He's facing crackdown. He bounces from country to country. He has different residences, and people want to throw him in prison. And he's not just tied to the United States, so people want to throw him in prison. Nick. Just the Heil Hitler song, it is very provocative, and I can understand why Jewish people do not like it. Honestly, I don't want to like it. I don't want to like it. I feel uncomfortable, even though like you hear it, and then it's playing in your head all day. You hear it, but it's like I don't really feel like just I want to go down that road. I don't feel like I want to be a person that's saying Heil Hitler. He is a historical figure. He is a historical figure, but for Jewish people, he is the epitome of evil. And we've made him the epitome of evil. We've made him that. He is, so making him like grandizing him, making him glamorous, making him so appealing to people because it is such a catchy song. But these guys, they all got in hot water for different things. And Sneako, he doesn't care. He's happy about it. He's the one who brought it up. He's the one who wanted to get international headlines, and he got them. The Tate brothers, they were not happy at all about it. It's an uncomfortable, unfortunate reality. But the Tate brothers, they would not have wanted it to happen. Sneako loves it to happen, and Nick, he doesn't care one way or the other. He is about precise articulation of just the what he would say this Jewish organization that is happening in the West, the United States, across the world. Which but I'm the type of person I pretty much agree with it. I don't necessarily want them to like be completely controlling our government in the United States. I don't want them to do that. But really their way of life is it is the biblical way of life. It is what is God had made a specific covenant with them, and they're carrying it out. They're living it out. They have, it's so easy to get onto this, and I don't want to be like, I'm just like preaching to the choir or preaching to people that just hate me, because when you speak about this, you're doing the same thing simultaneously. You are doing that because people have such heated reactions about this. The Judaism and what it is in our day and age, what is happening right now, it's just a unrealized recognition of Jesus as the Messiah. But they're carrying out, they're living faithfully what their ideology is, what God prescribed them to do. They're just missing the boat on Jesus. That he is the Messiah. He came. And when you get into this, it's a supernatural, just kind of like blinding that they're not seeing him for who he is. And this is what I really care about. Because at the end of the day, we can go and we try to like, you can see the uselessness of going to a club. That's pointless. Go like maybe to have fun and do stuff like that. But really, it's just something that you're going to do short term that's going to make you feel terrible tomorrow. Because you can maybe build friendships, maybe have a good time, but really, it's really short lived. The biggest thing is just growing relationships, finding a spouse, finding someone that you love, want to spend your life with, and ultimately getting closer to God. And it's this two separate windows that we are in, two separate stratospheres, that Gentiles and Israel. This is the conundrum that we all find ourselves in. And this is the same issue that's been happening since God made his covenant with the Jewish people. And since he made his covenant with Abraham, all the way back in the day, way back there, you know? And it's over thousands and thousands of years. And people that are just so consumed with all these other useless things that are just pie in the sky, that are just appealing to the eyes, that really don't make a difference, don't really matter for time and for eternity. They're just TikTok doom scrolling that just to get through the day, just this shot of just opium to get through the day and to make it through. When really it's, at the end of the day, it comes down to the Bible. It comes down to Christ. It comes down to your relationship with God, you know? And this is the issue. Gentiles and Jews are always going to be at each other's necks. That's the way the devil made it. He wants to pin us against each other, and he hates the Jewish people. Satan hates the Jewish people, and he wants to destroy them. And he's constantly, over the years, that's why there's this because anti-Semitic is becoming just this whole thing that is a useless moniker that people can no longer say, but really it is pinpoint. It is precise, because it's not just an ethnicity. It's not just your color, your skin. It's a specific ideology. People that are specifically Jewish, and Satan, the devil, whatever you want to call him, he wants to destroy them. He's always wanted to destroy them. And the worst part about it is he uses Gentile Christians, people who have embraced the Messiah, that he starts just festering this anti-Semitic spirit that has existed way back before even Christ came onto this earth, before he was even born. You know, people wanted to destroy the Jews. I think of Haman in the book of Esther. He hated the Jews. For some reason, something caused him that he wanted to destroy Mordecai and destroy the Jewish people. That was happening hundreds and hundreds of years before Jesus came. And now even when Jesus came, delivered his message, and Gentiles just overran everything, took over everything, they quickly wanted to remove the Jewish problem. They wanted to say, if you're still keeping whatever those laws that God done away with, he done away with them. Now, if you're keeping those, get out of our church. Get out of here. Well, this is the new man. And everything of the past is gone. Jesus fulfilled it, which means abolished it. It's just another way of saying abolished it. Rather, there is a unique, specific covenantal relationship that God permanently has with those people. And it's this weird game, this weird mindset and ideology, this infighting that just lasts, Jewish people against Gentiles, because there's this uniqueness to them that there is not to Gentiles. But there is still a specialness of being Gentile, because you are of the nations and you get to join yourself and cling to the King of Kings, cling to the Savior of the world, the Messiah of this world. And that's where this all goes. That's the whole point. All this other stuff that we talk about, I like that this got brought up. I know it offends Jewish people that they played this song at the club, but it's just a reminder of where we're at and where we're gonna continue to be until Israel says, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." This is the fight, the struggle that's going to continue to happen until they say that. And then Jesus said, "Then I'm going to return." At that point, he says, "You will not see me again until you say, 'Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord.'" Until those Jewish people, the Gentiles right now are just trying to just demolish and just make us hate him for some reason and almost turn them against Jesus. We're painting Jesus in a terrible picture. And until we make him appealing to those people, he's not going to come back. So we need to show who Jesus is, his true Jewishness, because he is the King of the Jews. So we'll leave it at that. Follow me on X and Instagram at Brandon Fogel, and have a great rest of your day.